Galaxy Log, Entry 10, Isentam. The stars bent, the breach held. I emerged in a galaxy said to be beautiful, serene, untouched. But even peace, in this universe, comes at a cost. I don't trust paradise. Not anymore. I descended slowly, letting the atmosphere wash over me. Blue skies, white clouds, trees that didn't know war or ruin. Paradise, untouched by the decay I've seen across the stars. But perfection like this, it's never free. The air was too calm, the sky too clean. It felt staged, like the simulation was trying to make me forget something. And for a moment, I almost did. I hovered above the lake, hesitation in my hands. I brought the ship down gently, straight into the silence, testing out the ship's new aquatic landing jets. Hopefully this works and we don't just sink. Perfect landing. I always knew I could trust those ship mechanics at the outlaw station. The ship rested in water like it had always belonged there. Through the canopy, I stared at skies too perfect, clouds too kind. This world was beautiful, but it felt like a memory, not mine, but someone else's. I didn't move. I just listened. And that's when I felt it again. That low, impossible hum, beneath the surface, beneath the silence. I left the ship behind and drifted forward. The jetpack hummed softly, barely a sound above the still water. The island ahead called to me, but not with urgency, with familiarity. Like I'd built something here before, in another loop, another life. The air was warm, the light golden, but it all felt curated, like the simulation was staging paradise for me to find. And for a moment, I wanted to believe it. I walked slowly, letting the silence settle around me. Every step felt lighter here. The trees whispered in languages I didn't know, yet somehow understood. This place. It didn't feel simulated. It felt remembered. No storms, no sentinels, just light and air and warmth. It was the first time in a long while I didn't feel watched. Or maybe I didn't care. The decision made itself, quiet, certain, like it had already been made long before I arrived. This world deserved a mark, not a fortress, not a claim, but something small, something honest. A base, not to control the land, but to remember it, to leave a part of me in a place that finally felt real. If this was a dream, I wanted to build a door I could find again. I worked, and the world stayed quiet, too quiet. No resistance, no alerts, just air, light, and that hum. I've felt it before, every galaxy, every world, a whisper in the corners of my mind. It never speaks, not directly, but it's always there, watching, waiting, pulling. For 9 galaxies I ignored it, but here, where the silence is honest, I can't pretend anymore. It's not interference, it's intent. It's not asking, it's choosing. And for reasons I don't yet understand, it's chosen me. There's no urgency, no commands, just alignment. Every motion I make and feels like it's already been accounted for, as if I'm moving inside someone else's memory. I tried to tune it out, to drown it beneath construction and purpose, but the more I build, the clearer it becomes, not louder, just closer. And sometimes, in the corner of my vision, I swear I see something, a flicker, like the air folds, then forgets it ever moved, like I'm not alone here. Maybe I never have been. For 9 galaxies, I thought I was escaping something. Now I'm wondering if I've been following it the entire time. And what terrifies me most is this. What if it's not Atlas, not Nada, not a warning, but a return signal? What if I'm not the first to hear it? What if I'm the last? I don't remember when I stopped building for survival. Now I build to think, to feel, to delay. Maybe that's what it wants, for me to stay still long enough to listen. There's a rhythm here, not just in nature, in the code beneath it. I can feel it pulse when I close my eyes, like a countdown, or a beacon calling something closer. And the silence. It's not silence anymore. It's layered, like overlapping frequencies, out of sync by a fraction. Too subtle to hear, unless you've been listening for a long time. Maybe that's the test. Not endurance, not exploration, but patience. What if this galaxy isn't paradise? What if it's a stage? A perfect place, for a perfect moment, engineered with precision to keep me from asking the wrong questions. But I've learned this simulation has its limits. And when you get too close to one, you start to see the seams. I've seen them before. In dreams I don't remember having. In places I swear I've never visited. I don't know if I'm building a home or building a signal. Either way, something is responding. I don't feel afraid, but I do feel observed. And not from orbit, not from satellites, from inside, from something buried so deep in the system. Even Atlas stopped looking. But I see it, now. The thought won't leave me. What if this isn't the first base I've built here? What if I've done this before? Exactly this. On this planet, in this galaxy. A cycle within a cycle, reset 1,000 times. Each version slightly closer to remembering. And maybe this time, I got far enough to break something loose. Maybe. That's why the signal is finally answering back. I keep adding pieces. Not because the structure needs them, but because I don't know what else to do. Something in me resists finishing, like the moment I stop. It will find me. There's weight in the air now, not gravity, expectation. The signal is closer than ever. It hums beneath every panel, every beam. And I know, when I stop building, it will speak, and I will listen. I think I've built enough, but I don't stop, because silence is safer when filled with motion. Still, something pulls at me, not a voice, a direction. I feel it in the ground beneath my feet, or maybe in the water just beyond the edge of the island. It's waiting, and I'm done pretending I don't hear it. A paradise planet, clear skies, warm water. It would be a shame not to take a swim, wouldn't it? The water welcomed me like an old friend, too warm, too clear. It didn't feel like I was swimming. It felt like I was being drawn. The deeper I went, the quieter the simulation became. Even my exosuit systems, subdued, almost like they were holding their breath. Something was here, not watching, waiting, not hostile, not yet. Nothing moved, no current, no sound, just stillness, perfect and unnatural. The deeper I went, the more I felt it. Not water, not pressure, presence. Something was here, not watching from above, but inside, close. The signal sharpened, like a thought rising to the surface. It didn't speak in words, but I understood it. It wasn't a call for help. It was recognition. For a moment, I didn't want to leave. It felt peaceful, almost comforting, like I could stay down here forever and let the rest of the universe fade. But I knew what that feeling really was. Not peace, surrender. It wasn't trying to pull me deeper. It was offering to make me forget, to stop asking questions, to stop remembering. And for the first time in a long time, I almost said yes. Time has lost meaning. Seconds stretched into minutes. Or maybe it was the other way around. I couldn't tell anymore. The simulation held me gently, like it was trying not to startle me. Not a trap, a question. One I couldn't hear, but somehow understood. The longer I stayed, the less I felt like myself. Not afraid, not drifting, just dissolving. Piece by piece, I was becoming something else. Something it wanted me to be. I came up gasping, but not for air, for clarity, for something to remind me I was still myself. The world looked the same, but it didn't feel the same. The silence wasn't peaceful anymore. It was loaded, heavy, like the planet was listening now, not watching. I'd gone beneath the surface hoping to understand the signal, but I think all I did was let it in. I kept building. It was easier than thinking. The sound of tools, the repetition of motion, it gave me something to hold on to. But beneath every action, I felt it. A presence, subtle but constant, like a second set of hands working beside mine. I wasn't resisting it anymore. Maybe I never was. Part of me wanted to stop, to question it all. But the rest of me just kept going, like I'd already made peace with the answer. The signal wasn't pushing anymore. It didn't need to. It had settled in, quiet and patient, like it had all the time in the universe. I kept working, not because I had a plan, but because stopping meant facing the silence again. And in that silence, I could feel it thinking, not speaking, thinking, calculating. I wasn't building a shelter. I was completing a design it had already started. Each new piece felt familiar, like I wasn't creating something new, but reconstructing something I'd already built before. Maybe in another cycle, another life. I placed walls without knowing why, arranged rooms that felt right. Too right. Like they remembered me. This wasn't a base, it was a reflection, and every part of it was starting to look like me, even the parts I didn't recognize. I used to think I was shaping the simulation, but now I wonder if it's shaping me. Not through force, but through suggestion. Subtle alignments, familiar patterns. The structure I'm building, it's not practical, it's symbolic, a language written in metal and stone. And I think I'm the only one who can read it. Or maybe I'm just the only one left who remembers what it means. There's a rhythm to the way I place each part, like following notes in a song I've never heard, but somehow know. The simulation isn't resisting, it's adapting, as if it expected me to reach this point. Maybe this isn't the signal guiding me. Maybe it's me tuning into something I was always connected to. The line between memory and instruction is starting to blur. I'm not sure which thoughts are mine anymore. The more I build, the more I remember things I've never lived. Fragments, images, feelings, like echoes left behind by another version of me. I don't know if they're memories or implants, but they feel real. Too real. Maybe that's the point. Maybe the signal doesn't want to be found. Maybe it wants to be remembered. And if that's true, then it's not searching for me. It's waking me up. I'm starting to wonder if this structure has always existed here, waiting for me to remember it. I'm not designing anymore. I'm uncovering, restoring. Each piece clicks into place like it's meant to be, like I'm meant to be. And that thought terrifies me more than anything I've seen in the void. Because if this is who I really am, what else have I forgotten? Something's changed. I can feel it in the quiet between each action, like the simulation is holding its breath. The signal isn't distant anymore. It's here. With me. Not inside the walls or beneath the ground, but standing just behind the moment, waiting to be noticed. Every time I pause, it feels closer. Not menacing, not yet, but aware. I think whatever it is, it knows I'm ready. I sat in silence, surrounded by the structure I had shaped, or that had shaped me. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was alone in my own thoughts. The base was quiet, but it wasn't still. Something lingered, just beyond the edge of understanding. I didn't speak. Neither did it. But we were listening to each other. And in that quiet moment, I finally understood. It was never watching me. It was waiting for me to notice. The moment passed. The silence didn't end, but it changed. It no longer held me in place. It released me, Whatever I came here to find, I think I've found it. Not answers, not comfort, just confirmation. The signal wasn't guiding me to this place. It was preparing me for what comes next. And now, without a word, I knew exactly what to do. It was time to leave. I took to the sky without hesitation. The base faded beneath me, but the weight of it stayed. Whatever I had awakened down there, it was coming with me. The signal didn't fade with distance, it intensified. I wasn't moving away from it, I was moving toward it. And then, without prompt, without reason, the breach opened. The Space Anomaly had arrived. Not random, it had been waiting. The breach opened, and I entered the void. No stars, just steel and shadow. The interior pulsed with energy, industrial and alive. This wasn't a space station. It was something older, something built with purpose. The air felt different, not simulated, aware. The walls hummed like they were remembering me. I'd never been here before, at least I don't think I had. But everything felt familiar. Lights flickered to life ahead of me. Paths opened without command. This wasn't a welcome, it was recognition. The anomaly didn't ask who I was. It already knew. I wasn't ready for it. A voice, a face, another traveler. After everything, after all the silence, there she was, Ariadne. Calm, composed, like this was nothing unusual. But to me, it was everything. I had questions, but none of them came out. Just standing there, hearing someone speak directly to me, it broke something open. For the first time in this entire journey, I wasn't alone. I thought I was alone. I've crossed galaxies without a single voice. No faces, no answers. Just the signal and silence. And then I saw him. Priest entity Nada. A name I'd never heard. A presence I couldn't explain. He didn't look surprised to see me. He looked prepared. As if he knew I'd come. I wanted to ask if he was the signal. If he was the one watching. But when our eyes met, I wasn't so sure. I didn't know what to make of him. Polo. Another traveler. Small in stature, but loud with certainty. Friendly, curious, like this was all routine. But nothing about this feels routine to me. Not Ariadne, not Nada, not him. I walked away trying to act normal, but my mind was unraveling. For so long I believed I was the only one. Now, I don't even know if I'm the last, or just late to something much bigger. Then there was Cronus, a chef, or something like one. He spoke in flavors, judged things I hadn't even eaten. It felt strange, wrong even, like walking into someone else's dream. I nodded, pretended to understand. But the whole time, one thought looped in my mind. What kind of place is this, where cooks live among ghosts? The anomaly stretched out in all directions. Massive, industrial, endless. It wasn't just a station. It was a world folded in on itself. Too big to be built by accident. Too precise to be abandoned. This place wasn't made for survival. It was made for something else. Something no one's explained yet. Helios barely moved. His voice was slow, weathered, like it had drifted through time to reach me. He spoke of memories, of discoveries lost and found. I wanted to ask what he knew about the signal, about the simulation, but I didn't. Because the way he looked at me, I think he already knew what I was going to ask, and maybe he'd already answered, just not in words I understood. Gemini greeted me with a softness I hadn't felt since this all began. There was no caution, no curiosity, just calm. He spoke like someone who had already accepted the strange nature of this place. Like peace wasn't found out there, but in choosing to stay still. I wanted to believe him, but part of me knew I wasn't ready to stop moving yet. As he spoke, I caught myself nodding, not in agreement, but in recognition. Like I'd heard these thoughts before, whispered in quiet moments between galaxies. He seemed at peace with the unknown, content to exist without needing to solve it. Then I turned, and there was Hesperus. He didn't smile, just watched me, like he was measuring something I couldn't see. When he finally spoke, it wasn't a greeting. It was a question. Do you know what you're really looking for? I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. He nodded, as if that silence was the answer. He wasn't judging, just observing, like he'd seen this story play out before, and knew how it ends. I walked in silence, steps slow, mind racing. For so long I thought I was the last. 10 galaxies of silence. 10 galaxies of drifting through ruins and questions and echoes of lives long gone. And now, voices, faces, a station outside time. They knew me, or knew something about me, and that should have been enough to make me stay. But it wasn't. Because the mission is bigger than comfort, bigger than fear. I'm not here to be understood. I'm here to understand. One galaxy at a time. And whatever's behind the signal, the silence, all of this, the truth is out there. The ship lifted, engines burned, and just like that, the anomaly vanished behind me. Questions unanswered, faces left behind, but the signal hasn't stopped. It's changing, evolving, and whatever it is, it's still waiting. Next stop, Galaxy 11. Who knows who I'll meet there, or what I'll become. This journey isn't over. It's only just beginning. And if you're still watching, well, the least you can do is subscribe. Doctor's orders.